Hey guys, Ultra Maximus here. Give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And jump over to Facebook and like my page to upload your video links, pictures, and join the conversation there. Click on the links in the description below. Hey guys, now follow me on Instagram at Ultra Maximus Reviews and Twitter at Ultra__Maximus. Links in the description below. Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another top 10 video, and today I want to talk about my top 10 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, and it is with a heavy heart that I say, while I was actually working on this video, we got the news that Chadwick Boseman, the actor known to play the Black Panther in the MCU films, has passed away of colon cancer at the too young age of 43 years old. He's actually a year younger than I am, which is very, very, very sad. I really don't know what to say about that. He was a very good actor. He, of course, played Jackie Robinson, and he also played James Brown in some films. And I loved the Black Panther character. While the Black Panther film did not make my top 10 list, the Black Panther character is definitely in movies that did. And, I always liked Boseman as an actor. I think he was a pretty good person. Of course, I've never met the man, but he seemed to really like his friends. He seemed to really like his job. He was never politically outspoken and try to tell people what they should do with their lives. He seemed like a very humble person, and I appreciate that, and I definitely appreciate the films. So rest in peace, Mr. Chadwick Boseman. Thank you, sir, for the memories. And on to the video itself. So this is my top 10 MCU movies. And it's not because they were the most successful or had the best effects or, most critically acclaimed. They are my personal top 10 Marvel films and why. So let's go ahead and kick it off with number 10. My number 10 pick is going to go to Ant-Man, and I really did enjoy this film. I was never a huge Ant-Man comic book fan as a kid growing up. He was always kind of a background character, but I really have to say that Paul Rudd really got me invested in this movie. I just like the cast. I think it was a great idea. It was fun, and it went small versus big opus type of Marvel films, pun intended there. It had a lot of comedy. It didn't take itself too seriously, and it really kind of wove its way into the entire MCU series, without even knowing it, becoming a integral part at the end of the Infinity War and Endgame films. And it was a lot of fun. It was cool seeing the technology and how they brought it. And again, I thought Paul Rudd did a great job. I love him as Scott Lang, part of the Avengers team and everything. Just a really fun film that didn't take itself too seriously, and it was just a blast to watch at the movies with a bucket of popcorn. And that's why it's number 10 on my list. My number 9 pick is going to go to Iron Man, the movie that kicked off the entire MCU. This was kind of an unknown character to the masses. He was popular to the comic book fans and cartoon fans, but the, average movie audience didn't know who Iron Man was. So it was kind of interesting to see this come out. And Robert Downey Jr., this is his big comeback film, right? Nobody wanted to spend money on him. They didn't think that he was going to, work out because of his drug and alcohol problems, which makes him the perfect Tony Stark. Loved the look in the movie. Loved the AC/DC, the Iron Man by Black Sabbath, all that stuff. Jon Favreau directed this and really kind of shaped and sculpted the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. And of course, he's happy in the films, which is awesome. And this really kind of set the tone of the next 10 plus years of how these Disney Marvel films were going to go. And I mean, that's just damn impressive. And that's why it's number 9 on my list. My number 8 pick is going to go to Captain America the Winter Soldier. Now, this is a film I just did not think I was going to like, and then when I went to go see it, I fell in love with it. First of all, we get introduced to the Winter Soldier, Bucky, obviously, and we get introduced to the Falcon, just a character I love. In the comics, he was a West Coast Avenger for me, and kind of the replacement Bucky for Captain America in modern comic books. And I think Mackie just takes the character out there in the films, and I just love the character. Loved how this was a political thriller film. By the way, I think that was awesome. The tie-ins with Hydra. I think Nick Fury's character and the Black Widow were really, really good in this, and just all round a fun, dark film. Again, just a political thriller, which was not what I was expecting when I went to go see this, and just a fun action movie, and that's why it's number 8 on my list. Number 7 on my list is going to go to The Avengers, the first Avengers film. And while it did not kick off the MCU, it tied it all together. This was amazing to go see in the theater. It is the first time that we've seen multiple comic book hero characters from comic book movies come together in one crossover film. And it was just jaw-dropping to watch and see these characters interact with each other, because we've seen a handful of them in their own films, and now here we are bringing them all together. Of course, this is where we get to meet the Incredible Hulk, and I loved how they made the Hulk transformation kind of a monster movie vibe when he first comes out. And just all the characters, they look so young now when you go back and watch this movie. It's hilarious. But the comedy, the action, the tone of the film, the gravitas of it was just jaw-dropping when we went to go see this back in the day. And it absolutely had to be in the top 10 list, and that's why it's number 7. My number 6 spot has got to go to the Avengers Infinity War. While the Avengers film pulled all the movies together to start this Infinity Stone arc, this kicked off the end of the MCU. So this was the first part of a 2-part story, and it was originally just going to be one film, and they decided it was going to be too big for it. So I'm glad they broke it into 2. This was just absolutely crazy. It was the accumulation of all the films up to this point. We got to see teases of all the Infinity Stones or gems or whatever you want to call them. They were gems in the comics. And, it was interesting to see it all happen, and the climax of the film, the cliffhanger that it gave us was absolutely insane. And of course, we bring Spider-Man in. We've got Doctor Strange in here. We get to see the Guardians interact with the Avengers. Everything about this movie was just loads of fun. It was huge. It was epic. It was the first part of the end, and that's why it's number 6 on this list. My number 5 pick is going to go to Spider-Man Homecoming. So this was actually a Sony film. It was a collab between Disney, Marvel Studios and Sony. They wanted to reboot it. Disney actually was trying to buy Spider-Man back from Sony, but they decided to go this route instead, and that's fine. And we rebooted it with Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and I'm in love with this setup because for me, Spider-Man's a high school teenager. He's a young kid dealing with the Avengers, who are all these adults with all these superpowers, and this really, really captures it. It's got a punk rock feel. It's got a very New York feel. It's a bit, I guess, social warrior esque to me in this because it's very, I don't know, they mix a lot of the characters up with race and identities and stuff like that, and I'm okay with it. It's the 21st century, and they kind of grabbed the vibe of New York City as it is today, and it worked. And all the actors did a great job in it. It was a lot of fun. I fell in love with the characters, and it's Spider-Man, and we get to see him join the MCU, and that's why it's number 5 on my list. My number 4 pick is going to go to Guardians of the Galaxy. So, man, I vividly remember when this trailer came out. Before I watched it, I thought, this is either going to suck or it's going to be the best thing ever. Now, as a long time, lifelong comic book fan, I knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, and I thought, wow, this is a very obscure comic book to bring to the MCU, and I was really kind of wondering which characters they were going to include. Of course, we got the characters that we did, which is pretty good. But man, I remember being at work late one night and this dropped, and watched it with a coworker, and we just fell out. The music, the comedy, the adventure, and then going to see it, it was just fantastic. This is a roller coaster ride of fun, and why I like the Marvel movies so much. I think James Gunn did a fantastic job. The cast, the characters, just wonderful. A lot of fun, and kind of again brings a different element of the Marvel universe into the cinematic group. And I mean, I can't say anything bad about this. It was a lot of fun. Again, this was a film, didn't take itself too seriously, and it's going to be a good ride when you get involved with these characters. So popular to the point that they changed the comics and the cartoons to match up this vibe, and that's why it's number 4 on my list. My number 3 pick is going to go to Captain America Civil War. So, this is the second Cap film to actually make my top 10. And this is a great movie. This is the Avengers 2.5. This was a better Avengers sequel than Age of Ultron, in my opinion. We get the Falcon back, we get Bucky back, the Winter Soldier, and we get introduced to the Black Panther and to Spider-Man in this film, and those were just amazing to see up on the screen. Of course, this is a comic book adaptation, well, movie adaptation of the comic book Civil War, and there's a lot of changes from the comics to this film, just like in the Infinity War. There's a lot of changes from that comic book story arc to what we get here, but they did a good job with this, and I gotta say, I can watch the airport fight scene with all the Avengers over and over and over, and to me, that's the whole film. Like, if they just showed us that part of the film, I would be happy. Like, when I watch this on TV, I make sure to catch that part of the movie, and the end of it's good, but it's, for me, all about that airport scene and seeing the Avengers come together and drawing lines, attacking each other, and Ant-Man just getting huge, and Spider-Man being funny, and I gotta say, it's the dynamic between the Winter Soldier and Falcon that really, really hit well in this movie. Cracks me up, and I can't wait for those two to get their Disney Plus show going. And I just only hope that the Falcon is the Cap Falcon in the show. I want that from the comics. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So, yeah, I mean, this is a great comic book movie, and that's why it's number 3 on this list. My number 2 pick has got to go to Thor Ragnarok. Now, this is the third Thor movie and a very loose adaptation of the World War Hulk series, where Hulk gets blasted into space by was it Professor X and Mr. Fantastic and a few of the other characters called the Illuminati, like some of the head Marvel honchos. But anyway, we get Thor versus Hulk, which is another classic comic book type thing. Hela is amazing in this movie. This is got to be, again, one of the best comic book movies ever made. The director is amazing. He's coming back for Thor: Love and Thunder, which is great. We get Korg in this. A lot of the characters from the Hulk Gladiator saga, and I just absolutely adore this movie. It's got the perfect combination of action and comedy, and it's got this 80s kind of vibe to it, which I really dig, being a kid of the 80s. It just got the ups and downs, and it's just so much fun. I can't express that enough. They did a great job bringing it out, and I think this film shows us who Thor really is in the Marvel universe, and I adore this. Every time this is on TV, I will turn it on and keep it on all the way through. It's got some great plots. It's almost two different movies going on at the same time, and it's just amazeballs, and that's why it's number 2 on this list. My number 1 pick is going to go to the Avengers Endgame. And this was a difficult decision. It was really between Thor Ragnarok, Captain America Civil War, and this film. Like, I went round and round with these 3 movies on which one I liked better. And I came to the conclusion I think this is the best MCU film in the fact it ties it all together. We started with Iron Man. It comes down back to Iron Man at the end of this film. We ended the first Iron Man with Tony Stark saying, "I am Iron Man," and we end it basically with the same thing. We get resolution for our main characters, Captain America and Thor and Iron Man, and it's just a great film. Very powerful, very fun. The time travel is awesome. Going back to the other films was fantastic. We get to see Professor Hulk, which should have happened in the Infinity War, and we actually got a toy of that, but they changed it, and I understand why they did if you watch the deleted scenes. It makes sense, but it would have been fun to see the Hulk break out of the Hulkbuster. But we do get Professor Hulk in this, which is interesting and fun, and I like him better than I do Bruce Banner, just not a Mark Ruffalo fan. And I just absolutely love it. The interaction with Thor and the the Guardians of the Galaxy, getting Stormbreaker, all of them coming to take out Thanos. I mean, it's just awesome. All the characters coming back and setting up for some of the Disney Plus shows and then the future of the movies. Just an all-around fun, satisfying film to see it all come together into a very interesting and satisfying conclusion. And that's why it's number 1 on my list. So there it is, my top 10 picks for Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. What did you guys think? Do you agree with my picks? Did I leave a film out you would have put in there? Leave a comment down below. Give this a big thumbs up. Jump over to my Facebook page. Join the conversation there. Upload your pictures, your video links. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, follow me on Instagram at Ultra Maximus Reviews or Twitter at Ultra__Maximus. And as always, look for more videos in the future. Hey guys, thanks for watching. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And jump over to Facebook and like my page to upload your video links, pictures, and join the conversation there. Click on the links in the description below.